You're listening to The Donor Doctor Show, where your host, James Newberry, will help you improve the health of your fundraising. Now over to James.
Hello, this is The Donor Doctor here again, and I'm with Dat Dang, an entrepreneur, a member of the Fast 50 Asian Americans, also featured in The Wizards, inspiring stories of American entrepreneurs who take company building to a high art form. And the reason I thought you'd be a good guest is because you are an expert on premiums. Premiums are gifts that either usually used in direct mail, either they're upfront or sometimes back end, like a hat or something of that sort. Now, you had a very interesting story. You were a boat person. Is that correct? Your dad was killed in South Vietnam, I guess maybe like 72 or something like that. And then you survived, right?
Correct. First of all, thank you for coming here and giving us the opportunity to share our story. My family came to the state in 1978. What we call boat people. This is right after the fall of Vietnam, and we were adopted here by a Lutheran church. Sponsor brought us to Fredericksburg, Virginia, where we kind of established ourselves there. And luckily, I was able to, long story short, I was educated. My parents made the sacrifice, made sure that we went and get the best education we could, and we kind of grew from there. My sister and I, and a family of four, came here when I was 7. And we went through a lot of the challenge, barrier, discrimination, but those are, that's the nature, and that's what helped build character and helped us
help you overcome eventually and be what you are today.
Exactly. And after college, I was fortunate to got into a corporate world, learn it, grew it successfully. Achieved in the corporate world. That kind of helped set the foundation for the entrepreneur side of myself. And I went into business with my wife about 10 years ago, knowing that I just always wanted to do a business, not working for anybody. And so we got lucky with our first start. We had a big box store that we signed with. We manufactured a lot of product for them. And over the first 4 or 5 years, we took a lot of best practice from it. We learned how to operate. And we kind of went into the nonprofit business just accidentally one day. I was introduced to an agency. We went in there, and over the year, we kind of expanded the business for them to use premium. When we met, premium was not in use at all.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. It was just more like for fulfillment back-end hats here and there.
Yeah, back-end fulfillment. No up-front, you're saying?
Yeah, no up-front. Yeah. And then we kind of...
Of course, you were like the first to do like the up-front bounce back, though, like with a toothbrush.
Correct.
Where somebody would sign it, the back of the toothbrush, and give it to a soldier.
Yeah, there's what's called the involvement technique, where we encourage the donor to get involved. Not just donating, but the involvement technique allows the donor actually to really track and see their money, where it's going to. So, great example of that toothbrush program. We sat with the account executive and we review what the client was about, what they needed, what our soldier needed overseeing, and we came up with the toothbrush. The key was understanding not just providing the premium, but understanding the actual packaging to make the program work.
Packaging is very important because the postal issues. Yes.
Yeah, and that's constantly changing all the time. So we had to adopt and tweak the program. In the last 5 years, we mailed 5 million plus, but we're constantly changing the packaging so that we can stay within budget, work with the post office. So that's the key.
One thing I think that I like about certain premiums is their perceived value is a lot more than their actual cost, because people are always buying toothbrushes retail, But wholesale, it wasn't that expensive when you buy in bulk. So people couldn't ignore the toothbrush. They had to respond.
Correct.
As you said, the response rate was very high compared to a normal mailing.
Correct. There's more to just putting a toothbrush into a package. From logistically, from our standpoint, we had to work with manufacturers that's FDA approved,
Sure.
certified, because you're dealing with medical device at the end. So there's a lot of back end work that had to be prepped into the whole program, and the end result pays out. You're right, the perceived value does. That's all we need. Our soldiers are always constantly, average person, you can go to 2 or 3.
You know what? One of my pet peeves is I'll see a charity and they'll put allow 6 to 8 weeks, and I mean, what century are they living in? People are going to be angry if you don't give if you don't give it in 2 or 3 weeks. Amazon spoiled them.
Right.
I'm a Kansas City Royals fan, and I made a bet that they won the World Series, which I won. And they took 9 weeks to send me my check, and I was like calling them at 7 weeks. What, did you lose it? They didn't. You know what I'm saying? People, even myself, I was like surprised. People expect it within a month or something. What should you do? I mean, there's a lot of planning to fulfill quickly. It's a fine line, because if you have too much inventory, that's a cost. But if you don't have enough inventory, you get unhappy donors, right? So what would you tell charities or agencies working with somebody like you, about planning for this?
Well, we had to take the program, break it into, it was front end prospect mailing versus back end fulfillment. Prospect mailing takes a little bit longer in terms of, you got to decide what you want to mail, price point, at what budget. So it takes a little bit more planning. On average, production-wise, it's normally 30 days for us. And now we can even, with the transit, you can go 5-day option or 30 days option.
5 days would be like plane?
Yeah, by air.
And then 30 days ship.
Correct.
Now, the Chinese New Year is a kind of a problem. When is that?
That's always a challenge every year. It's always in February.
Right.
But it's not just 1 or 2 days. The challenge with the holiday and with the Lunar New Year's is always they shut down, factory phase out about 2 weeks prior to the actual New Year's date, and then reopen 3 weeks later.
Right. Must be a heck of a party.
It is, but
it must be one long Mardi Gras.
For someone from the Western Hemisphere, we have to understand we've been spoiled. Transportation, everything is very accessible.
Right.
In Asia, they have to, population, everything, transportation is not the way we have here. So they have to try to leave a week or two in advance.
Right, I see.
And then try to come back a week or two.
You were saying something earlier that, a lot of people would rather buy stuff in the United States. But even a lot of the stuff in the United States, and truthfully, is it really from the United States anyway? The components or else. It's sort of like a car might be manufactured or assembled in the United States, but the components might be built. Everything's international nowadays, really. Isn't that true?
It is. And of anything, first thing first, I'm a very big proponent for made here in USA.
Sure.
The company started by us manufacturing product here in USA, out of Pennsylvania, Michigan. So we did a lot of stuff here, as much as we can here in the States. As it get to a certain level of competition and where we compete, and then it kind of really boiled down to pricing.
Right.
For example, you take a typical duffel bags.
Right.
There's a lot of great U.S. manufacturer here. They can make the same thing that overseas can. Biggest challenge is when you add on the bells and whistle, the extra pocket here, zipper here, design here and there. That's where the labor costs really
I see.
Make the change. So because of that, majority of our company here, domestic supplier, has to go overseas.
Right.
To be able to add on those bells and whistles without
to be competitive. Are there any items that are better off here in the United States? Maybe like a quick turnaround? Is it
what I found in the premium side and in direct mail is horns or medallion.
Medallions?
Yes, there's a great outfit up there in Ohio. Osborne Corns. They've been around for years.
Right.
And very established. Quick turnaround. Again, they have a domestic and overseas division as well.
Right. So I just wanted to. I know you're big. You go to the ASI show. They have one in Orlando. I know they had one in Vegas that I went to. What is an ASI show?
ASI basically stands for Advertising Specialty Institute. It's basically a platform that allow distributor and supplier to utilize. And so supplier could be domestic or overseas.
I went, you have everything from, plush toys, which is a pretty good premium for, I'm using one for a tiger sanctuary. There's, obviously hats, coasters, just everything. You have so many things.
Again, it's a show for supplier to showcase their product and for distributor to see what's new in the market, what's coming out, and then for them to show it to the end user client. We invite our agency client to come to the show so that they can see what's new out there. Every year there's some kind of new product that's rolling out, and the way we operate, very open. We want our agency, our client to see what's out there, what's price point, how certain things being decorated, what's limited, and then how using us can bring value to the
Going
product.
back to what you were saying about the premiums, I have a new charity. It's a National Mounted Warrior Foundation. They're building a museum for outside Fort in Killeen, Texas, outside Fort Hood. And I started with designing the hat to give you an idea, because I know that the hat is a thing. You have to have that in stock or people are going to be disappointed. So it's one of the things that it used to be when I designed packages, I might write the package first and then kind of think of the premium I wanted to offer after. Now I think of the fast response bonus, which is going to be a pen, and the hat, which is going to have the patches that, like a First Cavalry and stuff like that. I think of that first. It's because of the need. And I think about Chinese New Year and things like that, because I know that if somebody donates and they don't get their item within 4 weeks or so, they're going to complain to the client, and the client's going to have a bad taste in their mouth about direct mail. Is there any other guidance you could give somebody, though, like what they should know about? What kind of premiums do you like? I see that you've started one here with these cards. I'm here in Orlando at D&D headquarters. You have these cards that have like planes and flags, kind of the fold-out cards.
Correct.
Did you do audio cards for a while?
We did, and these are what we call 3D pop-up cards.
Right.
Basically, we started with ideas, and then we handcrafted, and then we laser cut the product, and then we hand assemble it so that when you open and close, it give you that visual, the 3D effect. Going back to your CAP program, CAP has always been proven back in fulfillment success.
Yeah, it's a good premium, particularly for a predominantly male audience, like a museum,
exactly,
a military museum's going to be.
Museum, World War II type of the vet type, and we're able to scale the minimum down to about 250 units. So to address the like inventory wise, it make it affordable for a nonprofit now to stock it.
Well, I came up with a few of the premiums that I've seen you develop. Metal bookmarks. I think you were the first to do that. And I just did one where you have a plane on a cord coming off an aircraft carrier.
Correct.
We have deck of cards. We've had the Tuskegee Airmen and a bunch of other ones. Keychain, Christmas ornaments, the plush toys I mentioned. It wasn't for you, but with somebody else for the Patent Museum, I did a letter opener, which was the Patent Saber. So there's all sorts of premiums out there. I think the big mistake that I see some people make is they don't advertise the premium well, like a commercial would. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to offer a premium, like a hat or whatever it is, I think it needs to be attractive, and you need to sell it. People say, oh yeah, I need to have that hat. A lot of people don't do that.
And I agree. It kind of, again, it go back to the whole packaging.
Right.
The key is for us to work with the nonprofit, the agency, from ground zero, so that everybody can understand what we're trying to do, what the organization is about, who's our target audience, so that we can build a premium, but then also build a packaging so that it's attractive, where a donor will receive it and it will entice them to open. Not just to open, that's our first barrier, and then to open and read it and then make a contribution. Have that relationship that it can be connected. So premium play a role, but I think the packaging, again, play, and then, so it's very connected,
right,
from copywriting to the actual premium to the actual packaging. So it has to start ground zero with everybody on the same page.
Is there one premium that you've been selling more of than others?
The two premium that we have success track record that won us award in the past is, of course, the toothbrush premium.
Yes.
And the USA 4x6 mini flag.
Oh, mini flag.
Yeah, that's a standard mailing in pretty much any premium. What we did was we changed the wooden stick into a plastic so that it could be...
this is like something they put in a tube.
Correct.
I've used that a number of times where, for a grand opening of a museum, you'll put the flag.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're able to do away with the tube and just make it
mail a third class.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you change the staff or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You change the staff, make it flexible, reduce your postage rate.
Right. You don't have the word is finial. That's the
finial.
The finial is the top of a flag.
Yeah. We're able to do away with that, and then add value by giving that additional donor, the donor signature.
Right. So that's a big one. Yeah, I've used that one several times too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the key piece.
Right. Well, great. Well, Dat, I appreciate you spending some time here. It's a great office you have here. It's what'd you say? What's the word here? It's
family feng shui. Yeah,
that's a great word.
Yes.
Well, anyway, I appreciate it. Anyway, this is the Donor Doctor signing out. Till next time. Bye.